Now at 5:30, it's a battle 50 years in the making. The Trump administration trying to remove rules that would give California and Bay Area counties a say in what happens just off our coast. Good evening and welcome back. I'm Veronica De La Cruz.
I'm Alan Martin. It's been decades since California allowed any new offshore oil drilling. But environmentalists tell KPIX5's John Ramos the Trump administration is now trying to force the issue.
It's ironic that a fight over offshore oil drilling should be occurring on the 50th anniversary of a disaster that some say sparked the beginning of the environmental movement in America. In 1969, a major blowout from offshore oil derricks spewed 3 million gallons of crude oil onto the beaches of Santa Barbara, killing wildlife and overwhelming all attempts to contain it. As a result, a permanent moratorium on new drilling platforms was established in the waters off California.
And people in California learned that this technology was not fail-safe, that you could have accidents that you not only couldn't clean up, you couldn't shut them off.
By comparison, the beach at Sonoma County's Bodega Bay is clean and inviting. But the Santa Barbara spill turned a lot of coast dwellers against the idea of offshore drilling.
Just saddened by the sight of that. To imagine that happening here is unconscionable.
That's why it was such a shock when last year the Trump administration announced plans to offer drilling leases along virtually all of the nation's coastline.
They weren't necessarily economically poised to do the drilling right away, but once they own the track, they can do it whenever they want. They wait until the economic benefits are there for them. So once you lose your coast, it's gone.
Then on Thursday, a surprise. Interior Secretary David Bernhardt announced that the leasing program would be put on hold until after the 2020 presidential election. But in the meantime, the administration is working to remove rules that give state and local officials a say in whether there is drilling off their coasts. That's prompted objections from Bay Area counties to the state attorney general.
I don't think they're going to stop just because they've made this announcement. They're going to continue to try in their efforts bit by bit to remove these protections. And so I think the fear is real and the vigilance is necessary.
It's been half a century since the Santa Barbara spill, and environmentalists say if we are forgetting the lesson from that disaster, we will be doomed to repeat it.
You don't want to have this become a laboratory for an oil spill on the Sonoma coast. That's the last thing you want to see.
The environmentalists believe this issue was tabled for political reasons. The president might not want to pick a fight with 17 states right before an election. But they believe if he is reelected, this will be a battle that will begin again in earnest. In Bodega Bay, John Ramos, KPIX 5.